So I have to say, I don't even really know where to start here. Made in China with these sneakers, not actually a bad sign. It's actually what they should say. Geez, I was in such an awkward position to show you that. It was actually painful for me. Hey everyone, welcome back to Low Luxury, the channel where I show you what authentic luxury clothing and streetwear and footwear looks like. And I say that because we are doing an episode that I have been looking forward to for so long. These have been my grails. They are a pair of sneakers. They're a very cool pair of sneakers. A lot of you in the comments will think they're not a cool pair of sneakers, but look back to some of the things I said. I'm all about weirdo shoes. And this is about as weirdo as it gets. This is from Balenciaga, one of my all-time favorite footwear companies. Dimna is just on another level with this shit. And guess what they are? Let me open, I'm gonna show you. We're gonna take a look. These are the Tyrexes. So they're very similar to the Trax. They've got this kind of musculature going on, but they're also square-toed. Like, there is so much insane stuff going on here. I'm so psyched. Let's get into this. But first, I've looked into it, and a very small percentage of you are actually subscribed to the channel. It's completely free. Just press that button, and you will not regret it. Thank you so much. So here we go. This box is so big that, like, within this fucking lens, it's like twisting. It's not that misshapen, like along the corners. That's a straight edge, okay? It's just a big ass box, and it kind of starts twisting at the edges of my lens because it's a big boy box. It's not as big as some Balenciaga boxes. I'd say it's actually on the smaller side for Balenciaga, but still big compared to most. So this guy is 16 inches. And I know it's like all messed up, but I did actually stretch it out. 16 inches across and 11 inches tall. It's also fairly deep. With the lid on, this is just under 6 inches here. And as you can see, it is a gray box with a black logo on there. It is just a smooth cardboard box. Like, they do have other boxes. Like, I got some Derby shoes from them, and those are in like a textured gray box, more of like a plasticky. It's got some kind of texture to it where you can feel it. I've got triple S's. That box kit was like kind of a painted white almost, but this one is a lot like the Speed Trainer box that I've got, just a straight gray cardboard, nice and smooth. And then you've got that logo in there. Of course, people are like, hey, yeah, it's the logo, whatever. They all have it, the fake ones and the real ones. But the thing is, real Balenciaga, that spacing is always going to be perfect. The lines are going to be perfect. The fakes actually get this stuff wrong a lot more often than you'd realize. So you'll have to take a good look at their real logo kind of next to itself. But it's actually a good thing to look at there is that logo. The bottom of this box is totally blank. And actually all four sides of this are blank as well. The two short sides have little kind of thumb cutouts here. And you can see it isn't a separated lid. The lid is like one part. It kind of folds over, as you can see. And now maybe the most important part on this entire thing, whether it's the box or the sneakers themselves, this little bit right here may be the most important part to telling real versus fake. So as you can see, this is like a gray cardstock card, and it folds over the inside of the box. It's even got a little cutout there as well. And it's got like an adhesive where it's stuck in on the inside there. And then you've got some stickers on here. The most important one is this one right here. So up here, you've got that model number, and you can look that up. It should show up with this sneaker and this model. You got the model name, so Tyrex sneaker. Then you've got the material, I guess, bicolor rubber mesh, not wash. I'm not sure what that means. All of the Tyrexes say that though. Not sure why. And then you've got colorway, black, white. Make sure that what it says on here actually matches your shoes. If this said black, red, but the shoes inside were black and white, that would be a very bad sign, right? Then you get your size, 44. The Tyrexes come in E sizing. I actually don't exactly know what that means. It may be extended. I'm not totally sure, but E44. Maybe it's just European 44. That would make more sense. You know, I should probably think about these things before I do these videos, but let's move on. And very importantly, you get a little sketch there down in the bottom right. This sticker off to the left of that, I believe, is the one that the retailer put on there. So your sticker on yours may look different depending on where the person got it from, but it's always good to look at these and make sure that all the info matches up, like the colorway, black, white, the size, the model name, the model number up there matches the other sticker. Always good stuff there. All right, so that is the box. We're through the box. Now we get to the good stuff, which is what's inside the box. So let's open this thing up. As I said, it's an attached lid, inside just normal cardboard, and we got our sneakers there. But first, let's take a look at this bad boy, all right? So stuff like this is always good to have if you buy it secondhand. Obviously, if you get it from a legit retailer, you don't have to worry about anything real versus fake. But if you buy it secondhand, if that person has a receipt, that is always, of course, a great sign. And I won't show this person's information, but it's clear that this is a real receipt from Matches Fashion. It has the guy's info on it. It has all the right info of the sneakers on it that matches up, so totally legit there. So now the real question is, what comes in the box? Of course, the sneakers come in the box. At least I would hope they do. So we got 1, 2 sneakers, always a good sign, right? But what else do we have in there? So we have extra laces. Balenciagas, the sneakers, pretty much always come with extra laces, unless they're like a speed trainer, because those don't have laces. And now, interestingly here, I actually didn't even realize this, we get not 1, but 2 dust bags. Or well, I guess, so this one is the normal Balenciaga dust bag here. You can see that there with like the black ties there. The logo is printed on there, nice and clean, that's all correct. But then we've also got like a Tyrex kind of athletic backpack type of thing here. That is crazy. So printed on there in white is that Tyrex logo. Take a look at how those letters match up, and the lines are all super, super clean there. And on the back side of that, you've got that Balenciaga logo, nice and small there. Again, really nice and clean. The spacing is perfect. You've got these metal grommets at the side with these kind of shoestrings going in around on both sides. It's actually a really cool bag. I'm about it. And now the moment has come. We get to look at the sneakers themselves. And they are truly beautiful. They are just like masterworks in sneaker construction. Balenciaga has always been next level at that. They do things that no one else does. So I have to say, I don't even really know where to start here. I guess we can start with the sides. Yeah, let's do it. So as you can see, there are just an absurd amount of panels on this piece. And there's so many distinct parts, I don't even know where to begin. So obviously just take a look at that overall shape. That is very important. The kind of dips and curves and stuff. There are so many intricate pieces to this that the fakes are bound to get some of them wrong. So you just got to really take a look and pay close attention. A great thing to look at is this stitching back here and the cuts of this piece. So the cuts are really clean, and so are the stitches. Underneath that, on the back of the shoe, you've got that Balenciaga logo, and that is pressed in. Again, it goes inwards, and then it's like painted in a white, and that paint is really clean. The presses are really clean. It only goes in on each letter. Again, that's expensive stuff, hard to do. The fakes are going to do it quite badly, I would say. If we look at this panel here, again, really nice stitching, really hard to do on materials like this. And also take a look at the curves of this white over the gray. That's some really specific coloring that the fakes aren't always going to get quite right. As we talked about, this sneaker has a square toe, or it's kind of pointed off a little bit, but that is very, very uncommon for sneakers. So take a look at that shape of that, but then also take a look at the toe where you get the Tyrex logo. And that one, each of those letters, once again, is pressed inwards. It's pressed into the toe itself. One thing I really like as you get towards the back is this piece right here and the kind of smokiness to that color of the like white to the black. And you get these little kind of specks of color within the plastic that are really cool. It almost looks like a spray paint or something. Right underneath that, I also really like these pieces here for the heel piece. These little vents, those are so cool. And take a look at all the textures underneath that, like the mesh and stuff and the different textures to the plastics. It's so insane. Another great thing to look at coming around the toe here, like it really goes around the whole shoe. So coming around the toe, you have this piece. Take a look at the shape of that. but then you get these little divots here. They're actually hard to see. So there's one here, one there, there. You can kind of see these little dips going in. There's a good one there. And these go around under the shoe as well, where they cross over. Now you can really see those divots there until it reaches this piece, and they even continue in this piece that goes across here. Like, that is so interesting, and the spacing of those is really specific, the sizing of those is really specific. It's just crazy. Now let's take a closer look at this sole here. So starting from the toe, take a look at all these shapes here, this kind of S curve to this piece, and these as well, these cutouts. These are all cutouts as well. They're different kind of levels to them. And then you've got that cross that goes over there. And then you've got this kind of vent right there. And again, you can see the different textures going on within there until you get to this heel piece where it's not a perfect circle. You've got the center off on the right side there. And that gets us to the back of the shoe where you've got these two pieces that come down here, these kind of like half circles here. And then right up here, you get that size, the European numbered size. And look at all these shapes going through here in this plastic. I'm just consistently amazed by this pair of shoes. Ridiculous. And then again, if we move up from the toe, take a look at all these different textures and layers, right? And then we get into the tongue piece here. So you've got some mesh right there, and that's actually really, really soft mesh. You can see like my finger indentation just from pressing on it there. And you've got these plastic pieces going up, and the laces are tiny. They only go over once, and that is it. Just one lace hole right there, the end, and then you've got the tongue piece right here underneath that. So for the tongue, you get this little strap here. You can see the texture of that. It's kind of glossy, and this piece is cut out. It kind of comes up here and then downwards into the shoe itself so that it's all kind of a consistent shape going around the edge here. And then you get that size tag on the inside of the tongue. Up at the top, you've got that Balenciaga logo. Again, that's all correct. You get your sizing, so European, UK, USA, and Japan. And I'd actually encourage you to look up these sizes and make sure these all work. I know that they do, but for instance, I once got a fake pair where that Japanese size was wrong. Like, a Euro 44 should be a Japanese 29, but the ones I got said something else. So that's actually a really good way to take a look at that stuff. And then down at the bottom, it actually says leather free. You get an art number, and then at the very bottom, if you can see it, it actually says made in China. So these shoes, as well as the triple S's, are made in China. And that's because China actually has the best kind of factory know-how and technology to make really, really complicated sneakers like this. Like all basketball sneakers, stuff like that, are made in China. So they actually have these skills more than any other country to make shoes like this and make them well, surprisingly. So made in China with these sneakers, not actually a bad sign. It's actually what they should say. Inside the heel, you actually get a little padding there, as you can see, and it's kind of dotted interestingly. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of cool. And then you can see the insert there. In silver, you've got that Balenciaga logo printed on there. It's got a kind of like mesh black texture to it. And in this sneaker's case, the insoles are actually glued down, but I can get in a little bit to give you a little bit of a vibe for what that looks like. So you can see inside of there that those stitches are super clean. I'm trying to get a good shot for you. Super clean. And the inside, the underside of that insert is a kind of clear textured like gum or something. It's kind of like rubbery texture. Geez, I was in such an awkward position to show you that. It was actually painful for me. And I think that's everything I really have to show you, except just keep in mind that between the two shoes, depending on if you're looking at the left or right, some things will be different. So we looked at this earlier, and you can see that with the shape of the toe, it's the X that's biggest, whereas on the other shoe, it's the T that's biggest, because it's kind of the big toe that's the biggest part. So things like that, keep that in mind. When you're looking to legit check these, if you're looking against my video, make sure you're looking at the correct shoe, the same shoe that I was looking at, or else the shapes might be slightly different. So now that we've checked all of that out, let's try these babies on to see how they feel and see how they fit. Jesus, these things are crazy. I feel like a monster wearing them. I feel like the Hulk, because the thing is they kind of slim out in the back, but then starting kind of at the midpoint of the front of the foot, they just kind of bulk out and they get a bit wider. It's kind of hard to tell from pictures, but the shape of these is so next level and unlike anything you have ever seen in your life before. I promise you that. Now let's talk about the feel of them a bit. So, I mean, it's kind of hard. It's like a hard rubber. There's not as much cushioning as you might expect, but then they also feel taller than you would expect too. Like that heel, it kind of brings you up a little bit. Like that heel bulb that it's got there is actually higher than it seems. So I think I gained a bit of height here wearing these things. I'm definitely interested to see how it feels wearing these, you know, for like a full day. They're definitely not uncomfortable. It's just they feel like a sporty kind of sneaker, and the bottoms are definitely on the harder side. But I really like the way they grab me. They don't feel, even though they're really bulky sneakers, they don't feel like they're ever in any danger of kind of coming off my foot, which is great. I hate having my kind of heel floating around in shoes, but these grab me really well, which I appreciate. And just, you can't beat that shape. It's so cool. As for the fit, I'd say they generally fit true to size. These feel like a US 11 or a European 44. I don't have any issues with that. Usually I wear a smaller size, but this is what they had available, so this is what I grabbed, and I can make them work for me. So they are a bit big for me, but that is to be expected. I'd say go with your normal size and you should be good to go. So that is how you tell the difference between real and fake Balenciaga Tyrex sneakers. Oh, they're beautiful. So take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.